Hello everybody. What can an old rusty garage hide behind its squeaky doors? The owner died a long time ago and his relatives don't know about this place or just forgot about it. But when the doors open some decades afterwards, you find a car covered in dust, standing there alone with its flat tires. And after some cleaning, you find out that something rare and unique, worth thousands of dollars, was hiding beneath the dust. So today we're going to tell you about the 5 most incredible garage finds. Let's get it on. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. A 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was found on a farm in Glenwood, Alabama, after it had been rusting in a barn for several years. Once upon a time, a local judge bought this car for his wife, but in 1974 the car was resold, and the second owner, for unknown reasons, put it in the barn and totally forgot about it. By the way, this devil could reach an incredible speed of 205 miles an hour. Dodge manufactured only 560 of these, and only 385 are left. The found car had all the original details, and thanks to its exclusivity, it was estimated at around $200,000. Truth be told, it was sold on auction for only $90,000, so someone had a really lucky day. Packard. In 1929, a broker from Wall Street bought a brand new Packard for its summer house in Schroon Lake, and he rode it all of his life. But in the 60s, after his death, no one needed the car, and so it was forgotten in a garage. Only in May 2013, a collector found the car by mere chance. He convinced the family of the deceased broker that he was the right person to give the car a second life. After a detailed examination, it was found that the Packard was in a really good state. It looked almost as if the car hadn't been in a garage for the past 50 years. At the end, the collector decided not to repair the Packard and to preserve the car in the state it was found, because original cars sometimes are worth more than their repaired colleagues. The reason is quite simple. Repaired cars there are many, but originals there are fewer and fewer. 1959 Austin 7. A 1959 Austin 7 is the hero of another interesting story of a car that was rusting in an old garage in England. In 2011, when the editor of a car website bought the car for £11,000, everyone thought he'd gone mad. But it turned out that the editor wasn't crazy, and he ended up laughing in everyone's face. The small car turned up to be one of the first Austin Minis in the world, and then at that moment there were only 3 of them left. In 2012, the rusty car with its flat tires was sold at an auction for $68,500. So this is probably the most expensive Mini in the world. Chevrolet Corvette. In 1953, the company Chevrolet presented the brand new Chevrolet Corvette, a 2-seat coupe with a body made of glass fiber plastic. The car had a 3.8-litre V6 with a 152 horsepower engine, along with a 2-stage automatic gearbox, and one of those cars was the main character of an amazing story. In 1954, Richard Sampson from Maine, USA, became the happy owner of one of these cars. After 5 years riding the car for over 3,000 kilometers, Richard decided to conceal his car for the next 40 years. To achieve that, he took his car to the ground where he was building a new sports shop. He parked the car in the basement and ordered the workers to build a brick wall around the car, with no holes or doors. Just a little window was left in order to look inside. According to Sampson's will, the car should have remained untouched until the year 2000. After that, his heirs could sell the car and gain a lot of money. That was the plan he had, at least. Nevertheless, Richard died in 1969, and his heirs decided to sell the shop in 1986. In consequence, after getting the car out of his tomb, it simply stood on their living room for 10 years. Just in 1996, they decided to sell it to a company specialized in the restoration of Corvettes, but even they didn't want to touch it, saying it was the oldest unrestored Corvette in the world. But the story doesn't end there. The car was sold at an auction in 2014 for $80,000, and maybe its new owner is going to bury the car again until the year 2200. Ferrari 365 GTB 4 Daytona. But not all similar stories begin with a car in a barn. This one, for example, was found peacefully living in an underground car park in a house in Toronto. Later, it was found that a Canadian businessman bought this Ferrari 365 GTB4 Daytona straight from the plant in 1971. He fell madly in love with this baby on an auto show in Geneva, and he paid a huge amount at the time, $18,000. and travelled with it for a month throughout Europe. After that, he took it home on board the liner, the Queen Elizabeth. But the love story didn't end there, and he rode the car for the next 18 years. At the end, he managed to travel a total of 56,000 miles in the car. A little bit later, the owner went to Asia, leaving the car in this underground car park. He covered it with a canvas and never touched it again. In November 2014, 44 years after leaving the factory, the Ferrari was sold at auction for an incredible sum of $770,000.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.